I don't want to do this, man. The real reason YouTube went down for 2 hours, the creepypasta. Let me turn my play. I'm so fucking sad. Just look at the pictures and shit.
On the 17th of October 2018, at around 1 AM GMT, YouTube went down for just over 2 hours.
I was having a good time when that happened.
Social media was flooded with jokes, rants, and a few people shot out some theories. It caused quite a stir online, and later in the news. But when the site came back online, people soon moved on and forgot about the whole thing.
Like they're supposed to.
2 hours before the outage, a live stream started called A Beautiful Sunset. Personally, I'm not big into YouTube. I definitely appreciate it as the new culture media hub it's became.
Come on, creeps.
But I just use it to listen to music and background noise. My roommate, however, is someone who lines up more as a fan of YouTube. He is subscribed to a lot of channels over the years he's been on there. One theme he's always leaned towards is horror channels.
Oh god, man.
The dark side of YouTube, he called them. He would listen to scary stories, conspiracy theories, and horror movie reviews. I personally didn't have the time or patience to watch these videos, but I loved hearing about them. He'd usually condense what he'd heard into a short TLDR for me, and then we'd have something new to talk about. It was a great way to keep up conversations with him, and he loved talking about things to an outsider to add to his opinions. This, of course, didn't stop him trying to get me to watch and listen to the things he loved, but I just politely turn him down and wait for him to tell me about them afterwards. This doesn't mean I would ignore what he'd tell me about. I didn't just apathetically listen when he'd rave on about a new thing he'd just found. I genuinely paid attention and chimed in when I could. This is why I remember so well a live stream he excitedly found. It was a small live stream. It only had about 20 to 30 viewers when he joined in, but it slowly grew in numbers over time. It was called A Beautiful Sunset. I got away from the usual content he normally watched, I thought, when I first heard the name.
You know it's bad because it's so nice right now.
When he called me into his room, I saw a live stream of a clean, open field, grass swaying. The sun was blazing in the horizon, not quite set, but threatening to soon wrest away from human eyes. The light emanating from the sun, bathing the scene in a serene pink and orange glow. Quite honestly, it was beautiful. So I could understand people watching the stream in a sort of visual ASMR. But again, this seemed way off from what my roommate usually watched. When he told me about it, it made much more sense. As I watched the viewer count rise, then fall, then rise again in very sudden spikes, he said this livestream was appearing in a lot of people's recommended page. Another weird out-of-place video blasted to a lot of people's feeds. One thing they had in common was that they were mostly made up of horror fans, so naturally I didn't see it when I checked my page. Because of this, he theorized that this had some sort of deeper element. Trust a conspiracy fan to think like a conspiracy theorist. But he wasn't alone. The Discord group he was in all seemed to entertain this idea.
Discord, that's how you know it's fucked up.
To me, if they were right, it was a fresh, new experience they were about to share and be a part of firsthand. If they were wrong, they'd spend the night watching a beautiful sunset. Either way, I thought he'd have his fun. However, I was still uninterested in spending my whole evening on this, so I told him that I didn't want to join in, but he was free to message me if something interesting happened. At this, I went back to my room, listened to music, and kept Discord on my second monitor so I could see his messages as they came. I soon started to regret my decision at this agreement. He was relentless in his messages. I wasn't watching their live stream,
I know
but I
the
may as
feeling.
well have been with how much he messaged me.
Yeah, it just...
He read into everything. A bird would fly past and he would tell me, along with a timestamp, followed by some quick math on the numbers in case something stood out.
Right.
The screen would flicker
I know
at
the
intervals,
feeling, dude.
and he would do the same thing to that too. Sometimes there'd be a sound, and he would update me on what his friends were theorizing it was. I swear at some points he was just using our chat as a place to take notes. I didn't mind though. I could not wait to talk to him about the various things afterwards, and I was especially excited to hear his thoughts on the conclusion to all this. To me, this would be a juicy conversation.
What's up with the
There was
fucking
one theory
face
that
with
him
this,
and
man?
his friends all
Jesus.
agreed on, which he repeated to me a number of times. They all believed that something would happen the moment the sun set.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
This made sense to me.
Wouldn't you be able to
since
just time
a
that though,
sunset
and then just
could be
come
used as a
back?
countdown of sorts, and the darkness would be a perfect transition to add a morbid twist. I toyed with the idea of joining the live stream for that, but I felt part of the fun in our conversations was the dynamic of him explaining things to someone who wasn't in the know.
Right. Yeah.
This wasn't for lack of trying on his part.
Trust me, I have a whole
I
YouTube
decided
channel
to
based on y'all
let him have
sending me
this.
shit I don't even understand.
Besides, I was preoccupied with my own things. After a while, the updates stopped, and for about an hour, I never received a word about what was going on. The last few messages were about how the sun was just about to slip behind the horizon and night was approaching. By then, I was already deep into whatever time sink I'd fallen into, and it slipped my mind to check.
Yeah. I hate when
I
that happens
assumed
too.
that he
God
was
damn, I
heavily invested
relate
at
to
that
that
point
so much.
and didn't want to switch to Discord in case he missed anything important. Almost an hour after the last message, something weird happened. My music stopped playing on my YouTube tab.
Right.
Bemused, I checked to see if my autoplay session had timed out. But instead, I was greeted by a grey block where the video should have been, and small grey blocks on all the thumbnails on the related videos. Confused, I tried going to the homepage, but that had the same effect. Just grey squares where the thumbnails and titles should have been.
Yep.
I checked my internet connection by trying different sites. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit.
Pornhub, say it. That's what everybody told me. My fucking Twitter was full of that.
Each site
Guess
I
we gotta go to
checked had
Pornhub
many
now,
references to others
Chavez.
experiencing the same thing. Twitter and Facebook had a lot of people making jokes about it,
Yeah.
and the YouTube subreddit was full of reports and complaints.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a worldwide thing. Something which I don't think had ever happened before. YouTube generates its money from ad revenue, so it must have been taking a huge hit to be
Yeah,
down
dude.
like this.
Dude, had to hours.
I remembered my friend and his live stream, so I went to check on my friend to see how he was dealing with it. I peered into his room after giving his door a small knock. His back was to me, and I could see on his screen what used to be a YouTube page, now just grey squares on the dark theme background.
Right. Oh, he used the
He
dark
wasn't
theme.
moving,
That's pretty
so
genius.
I presumed he had fallen asleep on his chair.
I should probably do that.
A shame because he was very into his little ARG, but convenient that YouTube went down, knowing he would have probably been let down at that unfortunate timing of the outage. The next day, we met in the kitchen. I was making my usual breakfast, and he stepped in, groggy from a bad sleep. I poked fun at him about falling asleep on his chair in front of his computer. He squinted at this and shook it off. After a bit of small talk, I brought up the live stream, ready to be regaled in the information he'd gathered and what his friends thought. Again, he shook this off, fervent, that he didn't know what I was talking about.
Wait, what?
After everything that happened, I couldn't shake that off.
Yeah.
So I confronted him about it. I brought up all of the previous evening's
Right.
events.
Him tripping out
About
of your
how him and his
DMs.
friends
Oh, I'd be
were all
pissed.
into this weird ARG.
Why you gonna spam my
and
DMs
wouldn't
then
shut up
forget?
about it.
Hell no.
that he bombarded me with messages about it, and that he fell asleep on his chair after YouTube went down. His bemused squints turned into a look of confusion and a hint of panic. His eyes darted around as he tried to recall the previous night. Once he settled on something, his face calmed down, and he told me in a monotone voice that he never saw a live stream.
What?
And that he went on a walk last night
What?
and afterwards went to sleep.
You don't go outside. You know that should be
I
suspicious.
challenged this, saying I had the messages to prove that was false.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
following it with questions about where he went. He again had a look of panic as his eyes darted around in thought. But suddenly, his look faded into a calm, blank expression, and in a dull tone, he said he remembered no such thing, and it was just a walk, nothing more.
I don't understand.
I cocked my head at this and took him to my room. The annoying thing is, when I pulled up our Discord messages, anything about the live stream was deleted. By the
He
user,
deleted his shit, huh?
which of course he denied ever doing.
It's
I
fucking
tried looking around forums and tweets,
whack.
but
What did he
couldn't
do?
find a thing. He said an ominous thing about how I should be satisfied at this,
Besides going
and
outside.
just walked away, leaving me sat there, feeling like a goon, not knowing what to think. I eventually took to the internet to try find any traces about the event, but all I could find were jokes and concerns about YouTube going down,
Right, yeah.
and nothing more.
Right, because it would be buried at that point.
As I sat there, exhausted on things to do, I came to a few ideas.
Okay.
The timing of YouTube going down
And
is
sunset.
too much to be a coincidence.
I mean, it just depends on the location,
So,
right? It's got to
there
be
are two
sunset somewhere.
possibilities in my head. Either YouTube pulled the plug in time and interrupted the broadcast before it could finish what it set
Yeah,
out
but
to
you
do,
wouldn't shut down the whole website, right?
or they were too late, and whatever they've planned is yet to come.
Wait, that's the end of the video? That's how you're gonna do me? I've sat here this whole time waiting for the end of this, and you left me with a maybe? Too many TikTok ads, bro. Y'all are fucked up. You ain't a real YouTuber unless you watch this. Ah! That fucking got me, dude. I was literally in it. I got over like my anxiety and all that stuff, and I fucking just sat in it, and it fucking left me hanging, bro. And I know everybody's gonna be sending me like real actual scary shit. Just know I shot this shit well before it was posted this time because I got sick, and my post schedule was a little bit off for me. Like my shooting to post schedule was a little bit off. I just like crammed a bunch of videos into one shooting session. Let's look up what time did YouTube go down. Okay, that's at like 9:40 ETD time zone. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Daylight Time, it is 9 here and basically 12 there. It's a 3-hour time difference. And it's PM and PM. Refresh that. Nope, that's accurate. Okay, I want to make sure it was accurate. So if it went down at 9 that time, it was 6 my time. Sunset there is at 6 p.m. Fuck. This is, I don't know why I thought I was going to be able to do this. I know there's a sun calculator because I've used that before. That's fine. Okay, so we want to go to sunset. And it'll show you what location it is and at the time. So we want to look up at what date and time was sunset to see at what place this live stream could be at and see if any events happened at that place. That's the research I'm going to do. I'm going to post my findings on the Discord, because that's fun for me. So I'm going to compile all that information, see if any weird event happened at the time that YouTube went down. But I need to know what location would have to be sunset, right? To get like a range of places to look. So I don't know. Also, somebody made Aki Dearest on whatchamacallit, on Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur character creation is amazing, dude. What the fuck? Who's liking this? Y'all, bro, there's some shit on my Twitter, bro, all the time. All right, I'll holler at y'all.
Crocs, 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 Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. My Crocs are gold. My pops is old. My Crocs got soul. My Crocs are bold. I go to church wearing Crocs. I'm always turned wearing Crocs. My Crocs are great. Your Crocs are lame. With my Crocs, I can cross a lake. Crocs, 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 Crocs.